Tonight, a massive shakeup may be on the way for the Massena economy. A new green hydrogen facility could be in the future for the North Country community. Plus, we're talking about practice. UPS workers stage a practice strike in Potsdam as a July deadline for a new contract looms. But first, police investigate as a burning boat and dead body are found floating early Wednesday morning in a Cape Vincent marina. Good evening, Garrett Domblewski is off tonight. I'm Zach Grady. An emergency on the water Wednesday morning crews are called to Ponds Marina and Park in the town of Cape Vincent. A boat engulfed in flames and the owner found floating in the waters of Lake Ontario. 7 News reporter Sandy Torres was on the scene and has the latest.
Rescue crews were called to Ponds Marina and Park in the town of Cape Vincent just before 10 o'clock Wednesday morning. Witnesses tell me about what they saw and what they heard. The 1979 Regal Marine 20-foot boat engulfed on Lake Ontario.
It's horrible.
As crews put out the fire, they found 82-year-old Robert Pitcher dead in the water. Barbara Pond, whose husband is co-owner of the marina, called 911.
I was terrified because all I could see was flames and there was nothing I could do.
Pond lives right near where it all happened.
So I walked over around the corner and saw the boat. It was a flame on the boat, and then all of a sudden it got larger, and I yelled for my husband, who was cleaning fish, and he came over and got our boat, raced out there, and there was nothing he could do. By that time, the explosion from the gas tank.
Pitcher was well known to this lakefront community.
It's devastating because he's fished out of here for years and years and years, and he's docked here, he's bought bait here, and he fishes these waters all the time a lot.
State police will try and figure out exactly what happened on board the boat, what caused it to catch fire, and what happened to Robert Pitcher. Sandy Torres, 7 News.
A company that makes industrial gases and chemicals wants to put a liquid hydrogen manufacturing plant in the town of Massena. Officials from Air Products and Chemicals provided information Wednesday night on their proposed Massena green hydrogen facility during 2 public information sessions. An in-person session was held from 4 to 5:30 p.m. at the Massena Town Hall, while a second session, this one virtually, followed from 6 to 7 p.m.
Air Products is investing about $500 million into this project here in Massena. That includes equipment we're going to buy and put into place and construction that's going to take place here in Massena.
Next year, we'll spike up during the building erection and some of the civil work to possibly 150 to 200 jobs. And early 25 is when we'll see our peak at around 350 jobs, tailing off as we get into the startup and operations phase of the facility.
The project could be a massive shakeup for Massena's economy. 7 News reporter Chad Charette spoke with elected officials about what they think the project could mean to the North Country community.
Right now, this road might not look like much, but soon it could host Air Products and Chemicals' new 84-acre green hydrogen plant.
We're just thinking very, very positively that this is going to be a very good boost for Massena.
The plant would produce roughly 35 metric tons of green hydrogen, a clean fuel, per day, diversifying the local economy, which has been traditionally based on aluminum.
I mean, when you rely on one industry, you tend to be in trouble when that industry moves out or whatever.
It'd also create employment opportunities. Local officials tell us the plant's 2-year construction would open up 200 temporary positions, and once complete, it's expected to create 90 permanent full-time jobs with an estimated $90,000 salary.
Well, it'll be great for the local economy because those will be, a lot of them will be high-tech jobs. They'll be good-paying jobs. They're not going to be minimum wage jobs. They're going to be good-paying jobs for this area.
Although the facility will technically be in the town of Massena, officials also expect it to have a massive ripple effect on the village of Massena.
Just the general shot in the arm in terms of our economy and for the community as a whole, I think is the most exciting thing for us.
The plant could bring more traffic to Massena, along with bringing permanent residents to the community.
Buildings of new homes, maybe buildings of apartment buildings, refurbishing of existing apartment buildings might be a more cost-effective way to go, and that only helps with the tax base and for the services that we provide.
The project has gone through the planning process. With construction on the horizon, the New York Power Authority has awarded Air Products 94 megawatts of St. Lawrence hydropower to aid in their project. Chad Charette, 7 News.
We'll head over to the Weather Center now. John, it's good to see you back in the building. I know you got a chance to head over to the fair. What was the weather like when you got over there?
It was, I tell you what, it was hot, and at least it wasn't that humid. Zach had a whole lot of sunshine as well. Outside right now, not too much going on. It's nice to be back in the comfy confines of the studio where it's air conditioned, and we'll be needing that air conditioning over the next couple of days anyways. All right, let's check the maps. First weather brought to you by Doors Plus at Adams Center, and there you see some passing clouds, but keeping it dry. That'll be the case for the bulk of the nights, but by tomorrow morning, we will have some showers and some thunderstorms passing on by. Looks like that'll be the case in the afternoon as well. So potentially some big storms tomorrow. We'll talk more about that, and we'll check the weekend as well here in a few. Zach, back to you.
Thank you, John. Ahead of a Wednesday night public hearing, concerns surfaced over a new proposed water district in the town of Philadelphia. 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning gives us a look at both sides of the proposed project.
The town of Philadelphia is working to secure grant funding for a new water district, but residents say the benefits don't outweigh the $6.8 million cost.
We've got perfectly running wells with what we consider good water, and we don't want to add another expense to our budget.
The project would provide treated water to 67 homes, businesses, farmlands, and vacant lots. It would run from the village line at Irish Road along Route 11 to Town Line Road. It could cost residents up to $1,073 per user, but if the town is successful in getting more grant funding, it would reduce the price to $880 per user.
There are people I've talked to that have to choose between paying a bill and having food for themselves or their children, and it leaves you in a position of turmoil.
It's not just residents who oppose the water district. In a statement, the owners of Martin's greenhouse say the treated water wouldn't be of use to the greenhouse and the cost would be an added burden. In August 2022, the town sampled 8 private wells within the proposed district. None of them came back safe for drinking. Town Supervisor Deborah Lamora says the project would allow for business growth along Route 11.
The more people, the more businesses we have, the cheaper it'll be. So if we could get even more housing or some economic development.
About 60% of the project is already funded through grants. Concerns will be addressed at a public hearing Wednesday night at the town office. Lexi Bruning, 7 News.
UPS workers are practicing for a possible strike as union negotiations fall apart ahead of a July deadline. The contract for 340,000 UPS employees, including Teamsters Local 687 in Potsdam, runs out at the end of July. Members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters Wednesday morning carried signs and walked the streets practicing for a possible strike. The union is looking for a pay increase for both full and part-time workers. Talks broke down recently over both wages and benefits.
I think we've seen corporate greed. I think that term has been used quite a bit, throughout this negotiations process. And I think the American people have seen enough, and it's time to reward the people that are working Main Street.
Several contract items have already been agreed upon. Pay, though, remains a sticking point. UPS claims that the Teamsters have stopped negotiations. The last time UPS workers went on strike was 1997, with operations shutting down for 2 weeks. We learned tonight the 3 names a vacancy committee selected to choose from to replace Nicole Kennedy on Ogdensburg City Council. The vacancy committee named Robert Eady, Michael Tooley, and Michael Weaver as Kennedy's possible replacements. Kennedy recently resigned as her and her family moved to the Capital District. The Ogdensburg City Council is scheduled now to select a replacement at a July 24th meeting. An Ogdensburg man who was hurt in a fire last month has died from his injuries. Officials confirmed that 57-year-old David Lovely died Tuesday at a Syracuse hospital. Lovely was injured in a fire on June 23rd at his home at 926 South Water Street in Ogdensburg. According to officials, police did help Lovely walk out of the burning house, but family members posted online that he suffered burns to 16% of his body and was in a medically induced coma. The cause of the fire was an overheated power strip. The Potsdam Fire Department providing an almost unbelievable picture from a Tuesday morning crash. The department's website reports just before 11 a.m. on Tuesday, crews responded to a call on U.S. Route 11. 911 officials say the driver was unable to get out of the Jeep after the crash. However, the driver was able to get to safety and did not require a trip to the hospital, according to the fire department's webpage. New York State Police led the investigation into the crash. And in the town of Pamelia, 75 gallons of diesel spilled out Wednesday afternoon onto Interstate 81. According to Glen Park's fire chief, a tractor trailer was traveling south on I-81 when it struck a piece of metal which punctured its fuel tank. The spill prompted officials to close the southbound on-ramp on Route 81 at Outer Bradley Street. Crews were able to stop the diesel from flowing into a ditch. Still to come tonight, Mel Busler brings you your North Country Sports Report.
Hey, Zach. City Golf Tournament continuing at Thompson Park Golf Course. We'll have the latest in sports.
Plus, it's day 2 at the Jefferson County Fair. We check in on the chickens, the ducks, and all the rest of their feathered friends when 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Dumblewski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
Your Wednesday winning lotto numbers, the evening daily numbers 313 and the win 4 1369. Tonight on Military Matters, as the military struggles to meet recruitment goals, lawmakers in the divided U.S. House of Representatives seem united on one proposed fix. The idea? Relaxing the Pentagon's policies on marijuana use. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz says he does not believe the military should test for cannabis in people who want to join. The bill would also keep the military from testing for cannabis use when someone is set to become a commissioned officer. The congressman stressed that the amendment would not preclude the Defense Department from prohibiting marijuana use while actively serving. He only argues that cannabis testing is an unnecessary requirement for recruitment. Among the chickens, ducks, and other poultry on display at the Jefferson County Fair Wednesday, some other furry and feathered faces found their way to the fairgrounds. Olaf and Sven are 2 emus joining the ranks of the Jefferson County Fair. The 2 appeared as part of the 4-H poultry show. The birds are still young, Olaf at 7 months and Sven at 6, but soon they will grow up to be 8.5 feet tall. The 2 are owned by Sean Brennan, who says raising emus is not always an easy task.
You gotta kind of be okay with being bitten a few times. I still have some pain from earlier when I was trying to feed him.
The Jefferson County Fair continues Thursday with Senior and Kids Day, as well as the Dairy Cattle Show, and of course, the games, the rides, and all the food. John Kubis is back after the break with your full forecast.
Now, tonight's weather.
Quiet day, quiet evening out there right now. 59 degrees, mainly clear skies. Winds are light from the east at about 5. That'll be changing more towards daybreak tomorrow. Those winds will be turning more to a southerly direction. Pressure is low, 2988. Excuse me. It will be on the fall tomorrow as low pressure heads our way. We're at the lower high 76 as far as the averages. We're off a bit on both ends, but fairly close to where we ought to be. Records 91, set back in 1966. Was a chilly one in 73. We got down to 41. Lower 60s for you, Messina. 59 in Ogdensburg. Upper 50s at Old Forge. 56 for you in Wanakina. 60 in Lowville. 63 at Fort Drum. Kingston, currently at 66. All right, a couple of high thin cirrus clouds passing on by, but for the most part, we're keeping it dry. Notice off to the west. Yeah, some showers, some thunderstorms, and you can kind of see a little twist in the atmosphere. There in southern Detroit, that low pressure and that upper air disturbance is quickly making its way to the east, and we see the effects of it. Some showers, some thunderstorms, and I think we will be dealing with 2 bouts of rain during the day tomorrow. Notice as we come back to the North Country, flood watch starting tomorrow morning, lasting right through 11 p.m. on your Thursday. Notice who's involved: Lewis County, Oswego County, and also a good chunk of the Adirondacks as well. Remember that heavy rain we had a couple of days back? Well, your ground is saturated, and we'll see more in the way of heavier downpours tomorrow afternoon, hence the flood watch. Speaking of flooding and the potential for some larger storms, the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has issued looks like we're in what's called a slight risk of severe. That's indicated by the yellow, a 2 in 5 chance, mainly east of the city of Watertown, for some bigger thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Maybe some large hail, strong winds possible, and potentially a slight chance, maybe a tornado. So we'll definitely have to keep our eyes to the sky and also to the radar tomorrow afternoon. Futurecast showing us overnight tonight, all is quiet, clouds moving in. A brief period of unsettled weather tomorrow morning, say between 6 a.m. and around 10 o'clock in the morning or so. Little break in the action around 1, 2 o'clock. Notice more in the way of showers and thunderstorms. These will be the ones we have to really watch as the temperatures will rebound and with a little bit more in the way of moisture tomorrow afternoon and a little bit more turning with the winds. There'll be a better chance for some larger storms. By tomorrow evening, all is quiet. Your lows overnight in the upper 50s to near 60. Some clouds passing on by tomorrow, morning showers, and then another chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, highs near 80. Same deal for you in Lewis County overnight, lows in the 50s tomorrow. Morning showers, some afternoon showers and storms, highs near 80. St. Lawrence County overnight, lows in the 50s. Tomorrow, some showers in the morning and then showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Highs in the 70s. Keeping it unsettled, warm, and kind of muggy on Friday and also this upcoming weekend as well, with highs in the 80s and lows in the mid-60s. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Now your North Country Sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report, and it's also time for Governor's own Connor Fenlong to start his pro baseball career. The talented pitcher signed a free agent contract earlier today. The Indiana State right-hander signed an undrafted free agent deal with the Kansas City Royals following the conclusion of the Major League Draft. He went from not being drafted to getting an offer right away.
After the draft ended, it wasn't even 10 minutes after, get a call from Mike Farrell with Kansas City, and he was there to congratulate me and offer me the opportunity to play for them. And it was pretty, quick change from not being drafted, but then getting the opportunity right after. Obviously excited to, get to continue playing and obviously at hopefully the highest level.
Fenlong was a 4-time All-American selection following a standout 2023 campaign on the mound. The redshirt senior finished the year with an 11-3 overall record with a 3.45 ERA over 114 innings. His 2023 season also included a span of 30 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run over the month of May. He worked on improving his strength and also working on a new pitch.
Really just got into it, a lot of work outside of baseball, just lifting, throwing, got on a program to try and increase my velocity and everything. And overall just working with our new pitching coach on, mechanics and throwing wise efficiently. Coming into this year was a big change, started, implementing my sinker that I kind of was throwing beforehand, just not in game. And that really helped out, working players off of one side of the plate, kind of got them, going to either side, left and right. And anytime you got pitches going different directions that are similar, it's going to be hard to hit. So, just getting better with that and commanding it and just, overall feel of mixing the two.
In his first full season as a starting pitcher, Fenlong led the Missouri Valley in innings pitched and wins, while sitting second in ERA, second in opponent batting average, and 6th in strikeouts. He went at least 6 innings in 11 of his final 12 starts of the season, including at least 8 innings on 5 separate occasions. The coming week now will be a busy time for Fenlong.
I talked with him and sent me over contract and everything. Just have to sign that, send it to them. They're gonna get back to me and give me a flight out to Arizona, where I'll report and assess with the team and everything, and then we'll find out more as those days come.
He'll be working now on his goal of making it to the mound in Kansas City. The second round of the Watertown Men's City Golf Tournament wrapping up today with 4 more matches in the championship flight. 4 close matchups on this Wednesday. The first match of the day, defending champion Joe Tufo taking on smooth swinging Jarrett Sweet. Sweet captures the first hole by sinking this putt. Tufo would fight back to take this matchup 2-up. Sean Thomas teeing off here, taking on talented golfer TJ Penn. Sean Thomas sinks this putt and takes the match over Penn 2-up. Philip Rogers starting his round in the afternoon against heavy hitter Andrew Marks. Rogers goes on to take this matchup 2-1. The final match of the day, late afternoon, Chris O'Brien taking on former city winner Adam Brown. Brown moves on to the quarterfinals by beating O'Brien 4-3. Tonight's Watertown Rapids scoreboard brought to you by Coleman's Corner, located behind Fairground Inn, across from Watertown Arena. Coleman's Corner offers traditional Irish fare along with gourmet sandwiches, burgers, steaks, and seafood. Enjoy your favorite beverage for great food. It's Coleman's Corner. Perfect game, Collegiate League baseball action. The Rapids Diamondbacks, or Diamond Dogs, I should say. Rapids with the night off tonight after splitting a doubleheader at Oneonta last night. Watertown continues its Fair Week road trip against Mohawk Valley, at Mohawk Valley, against the Diamond Dogs tomorrow night. Ooh, got through that. Baseball's biggest names were in Seattle for the 2023 All-Star Game. This year, there are likely some new fans in the ballpark all around the country, thanks to new rules put into place this season that have been a huge hit. Lauren Blanchard has the story.
Facing low attendance and dwindling viewership, Major League Baseball has placed their bets on shorter games with a faster pace to get fans back in the ballpark. The result, a Grand Slam-size success. The pitch clock rule means games are nearly half an hour shorter on average, and broadcast viewership is up 31%.
I live in Baltimore and near Orioles Park, and I see people all the time who seem to be loving the fact that the games are shorter.
The rule change allows for just 15 seconds between pitches when bases are empty and 20 seconds with a runner on base. Plus, batters need to hustle and must be in the box with at least 8 seconds on the pitch clock. Moving too slow would mean a ball or strike penalty. MLB clocked nearly 3 million more game attendees in 2023 compared to last year. Plus, America's pastime is hot in social media discussions with more fan engagement online. New and old, fans overwhelmingly like the change.
I think it kind of adds a little bit of speed and it does pick up the pace.
Still, some hope to see the pitch clock out of here.
You're rushing the game and you're not enjoying the game.
It isn't just shorter games. You might be able to see the bases a bit better because they're 3 inches bigger now, which means the distance between bases is a little closer for runners. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
Well, Sean Casey played for the Watertown Indians in 1995. Well, guess what? Sean Casey went directly from enjoying a 12-year big league career to sitting in the MLB Network studio analyzing hitting for large television audiences on a nightly basis. Casey believes the experience of discussing everything related to hitting since 2009 has prepared him for his new role as the New York Yankees hitting coach. He is optimistic he can turn around a struggling offense with 71 games remaining. Casey was introduced as the New York hitting coach on Wednesday. Well, that's it for now. We're going to pause for the cause. When we come back, Zach Grady will take us into the night.
Some showers tomorrow morning and also in the afternoon. Warm and muggy on our Thursday as well. Near 80 at noon and then mid-70s by 5.
For Mel and John, thank you for joining us tonight. Mackenzie, Beth, and Emily are back with 7 News this morning.